Decimate Drive is a game that you should play. Right out of the gate, I'll say it. Because it's baller. Also because it's short. Short games are the best games. Time on this planet is short, indivisible, compared to the extent at which the human race gains the unfortunate ability of coherent thought, and far less divisible compared to the length of existence in the universe. As such, it is objectively a waste of time to play long and terrible video games such as Days Gone, which I personally like to think is a barometer for how much a person values their time. Disliking means you value the temporary beauty of life. Enjoyment means you must also like watching paint dry, or examining a pot of water boiling. Playing fun, cheap, and short games means one can enjoy more games and appreciate the vast array of material that is being created within the medium. What makes Decimate Drive a good game, though? Glad you asked. Decimate Drive is a horror game, but it does not have any typical horrific creature chasing the player. No, it has something much worse, a Chevy Blazer. The game has a simple premise, gameplay-wise: run away from the cars. They are evil, but not residents. As a lone soul with the sole intent of survival, one must use both their surroundings and wits to break the proverbial ankles of the cars that are out on the hunt. Often, in horror, an open room is not scary. An open space means less space for a creature to jump out at the player at an impromptu time and cause them to leave the space. Horror works best in constraint, not freedom. Decimate Drive is built differently, though, as the game has primarily wide streets, big yards, and non-dense forests. All the more room for totally not Christine to plow you over. Not to say Decimate Drive is shallow, no, for it is, in my humbly subjective and objective opinion, that the developer, some random designing, does an excellent job at showing what a villainous car-based game could do. In many cases, a gameplay environment is a simple series of dodging and blocking around corners. The car approaches, one keeps an eye on it behind their back, and just as it gets close, ba-ba, juke its ass. Such a tactic does not work all the time, though, for there are often 2 cars, maybe even 3, in one case 4. A constant juggling of dodging and jumping and running, all necessary, for the cars are smart. They will not always just drive to your exact location each time. Wolves are what they act like. Sometimes just breaking off from an engagement and disappearing into the void, only to come back and whip your ass out at the last suspecting minute. The player is always on their toes. Horror thus occurs in a constant anxiety amount, the player desperately trying to reach the payphone checkpoint to escape, not knowing if they will get smushed before their arrival. I cannot recall where I first heard of Decimate Drive. All I know is it was located within my Steam wishlist. Certainly, it is highly possible I saw someone play it on the old YouTube, for there are multiple million-view videos of Let's Players taking a gander at it. Conversely, the amount of reviews on Steam suggest that not many people of those viewers ended up purchasing the game. Unfortunate, really, for the raw thrill of running away from a van with free candy written on the side could only be matched by running away from a real van with free candy written on the side. Certainly, it is a game that is a digital representation of the fear which the so-called intellectuals on the Fuck Cars subreddit must feel when they leave their $5,000 a month apartment for a latte. For people who fuck with cars, though, it is a very excellent way to get a feel for the overburdening sense of dread 1990s General Motors can give a person. Could there be a meta-narrative about a horror game where all the villains are not a being, but rather they're mechanically inanimate creations? Individuals mastered in the art of sticking their head up their own ass after reading so-called philosophy may conjure up such words. I could have very easily bullshit something up about it as well. This writing shit is easy to me, man. But alas, that would make me an honorary member of the people I hate most, that also being the kind of person I am, video essayist. Fortunately, the personality of the cars themselves in this game lead me to believe that this game has no actual meta-narrative. It is instead conjuring up the ever-common Christine and or Maximum Overdrive vibe, that being whatever a slasher movie is, but with cars as the villain. Virtually every vehicle one encounters within the game has a cute little quirk, whether it be visual or gameplay affecting. There is a truck that carries the concentrated stench of at least maybe 2 Smash Melee players, blinding your vision when it gets close. At times, the great and terrible Chevy Blazer has rebar sticking out of its window, waiting to bonk the player as it flails about. The free candy van plays a villainous metal track before it starts up. The camper van beeps its horn and flashes its lights just before setting up camp right over top of you. The snow plow is an instant kill, by far the most terrifying vehicle in the game, always arriving just when you least want it to be there, unlike the snow plowers in my area, which are never there at all. The cars, despite being cars, all have a smidge of personality. Some fast, some slow, all are evil, and through some plot element I cannot comprehend, they are all out to kill you. For there are no people driving the cars are driving themselves. A particular moment in the game that occurs very early, so I don't consider it a spoiler, is actually one of the more scary moments not occurring in the moment-to-moment gameplay, if only for the implications it has on the nature of the evil cars. The player spawns in, starts to move, skulking towards a parking lot, when an SUV roars by, a woman screaming inside. It slams right into a concrete barrier. The screaming stops. The car stops moving. Then, once the player walks by it, it starts up and tries to make the player parallel with the pavement. Such an event only brings to mind what horrors could be going on in the car. All the windows are tinted on all the vehicles. Some of the ones mentioned earlier have personalities to an extent. Unknowing what lies inside the cars, matched with their ever-violent tendencies, is what I think makes Decimate Drive exceptionally spooky. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, none of this is explained in the plot of the game, which is virtually incomprehensible. I don't understand what is happening at all. There is dialogue and words and cutscenes, but I cannot even understand enough of what is going on to even make a joke about it. The plot is just that incomprehensible. All you really need to know is that you are a human being, and the cars are not. Upon beating the game, one can do a New Game Plus, which I am not sure of the purpose of. This game has no perks or weapons. But upon completion, one can then partake in the Epilogue Backroads mode, which leaves the dreary Midwestern American football-looking town for nature, which also has an equal amount of joyful moments of gameplay, including evil farm equipment. There are a variety of fun encounters across the whole game. I'd rather not spoil because I think you, the viewer of this video, who also should subscribe, should also play this game after watching the video. It's short and cheap, and most importantly, it's fun. People who just play FIFA and COD every day will bitch that new games are not fun. But after close analysis of the current crop of indie games, and by that I mean only playing Decimate Drive and taking a nap, my conclusion to this statement is that they are a hater, more skilled in the art than I am, which I respect, even though unlike me, they are wrong. 8 out of 10 game. Subscribe.